Today is Sunday, and we're going to just have like a little conversation here. On Sundays, what I want to kind of do is do recordings about my funeral to boho, where I'm trying different types of outfits and jewelry, talk about reinvention. And today, what I thought I'd do, first, I know it might be kind of early for you folks, but it's like Saturday afternoon here. So we are having a little pick moscato. So you have coffee and whatever you have. I mean, some of you may be in a different time zone, so maybe it's like afternoon. So cheers to my folks out there. Let's have a chat. And I'm thinking you might find this a little interesting. Cheers, folks. I do like that. That's the wine we had at our wedding when me and Big Dog got married. Very light, just a little sweet, not too bad. So anyway, what we're going to do today, I'm going to call this series Hey Stace. Now, most people here who have already sat down with me know that Stace is my daughter, with my girls there, with her two babies and her husband. She's a working mom. She's got a two-year-old Morgan, and 1-year-old Teddy, my baby girls. And my daughter's the youngest. I have a son and a daughter. My boy is in Pittsburgh. My daughter's in San Antonio. Her and her husband are they're like ships in the night. He works nights and she works days. She works at for the city, and he's in what do they call that? Like hotel. What's the word? You anyway. He works for a hotel, and as I see her, man. She's doing it. I've been there. I've done that. I was a working mom. I was fortunate enough to be able to stay home for about 8 years. But then their dad, who I was married to, Gary, at the time, he ended up getting injured at a very young age. He was maybe 38, 39, and he was pretty young, and he got injured due to chemical exposure, and we actually shifted roles. So when I see her, that's up to you, Mia. But anyway, in this series, what I thought I'd do is because I'm finding things are happening. And if you're over 60, you kind of know what I'm talking about. And I find it kind of funny because my mom will share things that happen or maybe may happen as females get older. And I remember that's one time, I think it was at work, it was some time back, and it was about menopause. And I think the YouTube channel, if I have it correct, I'm gonna put it down in the description below. It's called Menopause Barbie, and this lady was talking about what some ladies will go through during menopause. And my mom, was telling me about this lady and sent me the link because she said nobody really told her about those things. Okay, mom, and she wants to make sure that her girls knew what can happen and what to be aware of. So she always likes to share those little tidbits of information with me and my sister. So now it is my Stace's turn because, she's getting older. Or, I mean, she's not 40, but she's getting older. She's got two babies, and time flies for all of us. You know what I'm talking about. So I just kind of want to say, hey, Stace, be aware. Your mama loves you. That's why I'm doing this. So I'm going to talk about 5 things that Gigi has become familiar with that have happened since I've turned over 60. And it's not that these things I've noticed since only because I've turned 60, but maybe there were things that maybe I was aware of, but I'm really starting to see something's going on with them now. One of them really is about my knees. I hurt my knee when I was a kid. I hurt my knee when I was a kid playing baseball. My brother slid into me. I was like 13, and I don't know if I know now that there was a tear because the doctor has confirmed that there's some type of tear there, but it's healed over and it's old and whatever. But I've dealt with it. I haven't really had any issues with it. Every once in a while, it might have slid out of socket, but all I would do is just take some Advil, put on a wrap, and I'd be fine. And that was it. And then I went on my merry way. It wasn't until I retired, that which was 4 years ago, that I started walking, because my goal was to get up to 3 miles a day, and I love to walk. Love, walking kind of gets my head clear. And I mean, I remember when I was living in Fresno, and I used to start a job at 9 o'clock, and I was walking for quite some time, early in the morning, like 6 o'clock, 5 o'clock, and then my mom joined me. So me and her be walking out there early in the morning, because she lived right around the block from us. She didn't live too far from us, so me and her would go walking, and not quite sure why we stopped, but I've always enjoyed walking. So I would take Jet. We didn't have Luna at the time, so me and Jet, our beloved pit bull lab mix, would go out walking, and I loved it. But then I fell like 3 times, and I told the doctor I wasn't quite sure why I fell. I'm just so glad it never hit my head. I wasn't quite sure why I fell. Turns out that after some MRI, some all kinds of tests, he thinks what it was is my knee. I just overused my knee, and the muscle would just, the ligaments just kind of give out. So okay, so I had to stop walking, which frustrates me, because I still haven't really walked like I used to. So, and part of that is, the old injury, and I'm sure part of it is I was just doing too much too soon. So we got past that. So then what I started to notice this one day, this happened probably a couple years ago, because now I've been doing gel shots. And so I'm talking about this as some of the things that can happen when you're over 60 is your joints. Your joints don't lubricate well, or they change the way you lubricate, or your joints just don't, move the way they used to. And I definitely am noticing that. I remember this one time, a couple of years ago, I woke up out of bed, and my good knee, because the knee I've always had issues with, or I had issues with, is primarily my left knee. This one time I got out of bed, and I, I was walking. I was just kind of walking, like I couldn't move. My knee would not bend. It just, I don't know why. So we ended up going. That's how I ended up going to a sports doctor. So now I go to the sports doctor, and she says that thinning of the cartilage, you know, the muscles, the ligaments, they're not as strong, blah, 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 blah. Meaning like I just got old knees and deterioration of the cartilage and the bone because of arthritis. Okay, that's fine. But it's a process to get any of this stuff done. So what I've been doing for the last 2 years now is getting gel shots. And that seems to be working pretty good, except last year, it just didn't work as well. So, because before, when I would get the gel shots, and what the gel is, it's a type of, I want to say hydraulic, but it's not hydraulic uh, oil. I'll put the name right there because I always mispronounce it. What they do is they put this gel into your joints, and some people, they get a lot of relief. And I was getting great relief for, like, because it's every 6 months, and I was doing that, except for this last time that I tended to have more problems, and my knees just are not working. They're way better than they were before, because I could barely walk. I'd say 6 months ago. Yeah, because it'll be 6 months next month that I could go back in and see her and see what we're gonna do. But 6 months ago, I could barely even walk. I wasn't sure I was able to go back east to see my oldest, my big girl, for her 7th birthday. I wasn't even sure I was gonna be able to make it, because I just could not walk on my knee. But I was able to get back in there. She gave me a steroid shot, and so much better. My knees are not working as well as I would like them to, because, like, me and my mom went shopping today, so I wore braces. But like, me and Big Dog went to go see the movie Odyssey. That was pretty good. And my bladder held out for the 3 hours I was sitting there. That's something I'll talk about later. But I didn't wear the braces. I was just gonna be sitting. Now I might have stood up a little slow, because sometimes your joints get stiff. They just don't cooperate. But and the other thing that I'll hear, they actually snap, crackle, and pop. I mean, I can be in one area, one side of the living room, Big Dog's in the other living room, and he can hear my knee pop. I don't always feel pain. It just, like, makes noises. And I'm sure it's just a movement of stuff that's going on in there. But I'm sure there's going to be a time that I'm going to have to get a knee replacement. We've already talked about it. But there's a process for that, and it seems like they want you in so much pain. It's debilitating, and I don't want to be in that much pain to have the surgery. I want to be where I'm healthy and I'm strong and I can get the recovery. But I don't know. So I'm gonna have to be going back to the doctor next month and kind of see what the game plan. If the gel shots work again, then I want to continue doing that. But I've already had two friends, that are over 60 that have had the knee replacement surgeries, and they're great. They said they love it. And this one gal, this friend of mine, she just had her second one just recently done. See, that's I'm concerned about, because I know I'm gonna have to have both knees done. But that's something that we need to be aware of as we get older. Our knees, our joints do not work, and because it's just aging. If you have injuries, aging, calcium, whatever the issue can be, that's something that truly happens. And my sister, who's younger than me, she's probably about 5 years younger, 6 years younger than me. I'm the oldest, she's the youngest, and she's had issues with her knees, but she's very. I was athletic when I was a kid. I played baseball, volleyball, and she was in the drill team, and but she skis. She hunts, she hikes, she skis. I mean, at her age, and that's not a on the knees. That skiing. I mean, that's a lot of beep up around that you do up there on that mountain. So I know she's had issues with her knees. I think she's pretty good now, but again, I think she was probably 60 when that started as well. So it's not unusual, your elbows, I mean, okay, maybe some of you ladies know about this. When you gotta let your sisters go and you kind of move your arm to the back and kind of clip, the bra. And I remember this one time, I couldn't even get my arm back there. I'm thinking, I've been doing this since I was 13 years old. Why can I not get my arm back there to unclip my bra? It hurt. So then I'm taking it off, scooting it over to the front, clip, clip, clip. Now, there are some bras. I don't even know how we got something to the bras, but I think it had to do with the joints because I could not get my arm back there so I can go ahead and unclip it. I'm just saying, these are things that we have to be aware of. So, like I said, your joints, make sure they're lubricated because you want to be able to take your sisters out of town. You know what I'm saying? Oh, Stace, I know you're gonna love that. Yeah. So one of the things I'm finding that helps with that is movement. I'm so glad I found this guy Reggie. He does it's the Silver Sneakers program, and I believe once you're 65, it falls under the Medicare for my Medicare program, and I think some others. You can join a fitness club, and sometimes you can join for free. And I've been able to join this. It's Anytime Fitness. They have them all over, and I really like the way this guy works, because that's the best way and that's the best thing for you when you're younger. When you're older, I'm saying, well, yeah, you can be young at heart, is you gotta move. You gotta keep those joints moving, your legs going, your back. You gotta move all of that stuff, because if not, it's not nothing's breathing. It's just like, so just keep moving. And the next thing, the next thing I noticed recently, so I put it on my makeup, and I felt something on my eyelid. What the hell's that? What's And it's like so of course I Google, take a picture, do a Google search, and apparently it's some type of, I guess, like extra oils in your skin, because you can get them anywhere. I just happen because I've got those hooded eyelids. Thanks, Mom. My daughter has them too. We have those hooded eyelids. So what happens is oil will sometimes get trapped in the little glands in there, and then you end up getting a cyst. So it's like, really? So now, I've seen. Has anybody seen some of those episodes of Pimple Popper? Dr. Pimple Popper. I don't want to be going no Sandra Lee. I think that's her name. I don't know how people let him get that big. Anyway, that's a whole other conversation. I know I'm gonna have to get that checked. He's probably gonna have to drain it, or so. It's not real big, but I can see it. So of course, if I can see it, it bothers Gigi. So it's, you got to be mindful, be wary of your skin. I go to my dermatologist. I just have my annual checkup where they kind of look at everything. Anything looks funny, he's with his little can of to me, it reminds me of like the air cans that they use to clean up. I'm sure it's not that. I'm sure it's something more sophisticated and probably a little bit stronger because that stuff stings. Or else he has a little thing that kind of like burns it off. So I've had some, I had one on my face. I had it cyst behind my ear. I had one on my leg. I mean, your skin starts doing funky things as it gets older. And if you've been out in the sun a lot, I grew up in Southern California. I can't say that I laid out in the sun. My brother and sister did. I didn't do that. But just being outside, sometimes you get. I remember this one time I got a really bad sunburn, because at that time, if some of you remember, we would use baby oil. Now I did not want baby oil on my legs. I was with a bunch of friends, putting some leg, having some fun. I was probably about 17. It was just a group of us, just a group gal girls, and just kind of all hanging out there on the lake. And somebody started shooting the baby oil, over everybody, and they got me all over my legs. I would have to say that's probably the worst burn I ever had. So don't do that. And it's not suggested that you do that. But really, as you get older, your skin just does funny things. Like my dad, he used to get like I don't think they call it liver spots, old age spots or something. I know he had some on his head. So when my hair starts going white, after I take the pink out, I got any spots up there? Because I know he'd get on top of his head, and you'll get some of those. So look at your skin. Take inventory of your skin. If something looks off, if something looks funny, get it checked out, because as we get older, stuff like that does happen. You want to be mindful about it, because you got a beautiful face, baby. You don't want nothing. You don't want nothing taken away from that. You know what I'm saying? Just saying. Now, the other thing, when I was a kid, I used to ride 5 miles, 5 miles a day to school. It was 2.5 miles each way. Yeah, right, Gigi. No, 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 I did in high school. And man, I had some strong calves, man. My legs were my little huffy 10-speed bike going back and forth to put to high school and coming back home. And I did that maybe a year and a half, 2 years, until I had access to a vehicle, to a car. And I don't remember the heat bothering me as much as it does now. I remember. Um, I know this probably last year, because I'm in the golf league, but and they play all year long. I tried playing during the summer, and they'll go early. They'll go early in the morning, like at 6 or 7 o'clock at night. I mean, at night in the morning, or else they start playing at 4 o'clock, 3 or 4. In Arizona, that's like the peak heat. I'm talking like 110, 111. I tried it. Let me tell you, I did the 6 and the 7 o'clock morning, and that was fine. I was okay with that, because we only do 9 holes. We're not even doing a whole 18. And I did that probably until it starts getting too closer to May. It just gets too hot, and then they shift. I think they shift either in April or May, and that's when I stopped, because I tried playing. This one time I came back from golfing. I got home at 7, and uh, the first time that it really hit me, man, I came home, took off my gear, and I had taken with me a white terry cloth, a short little towel, and I had been packing it with ice water. I run that out, brought that inside with me, and put that on top of my face, and I just sat there under the fan. My heartbeat was like 133. And Big Dog like, what happened to you? I go, it's so hot. It's so freaking hot. I was so uncomfortable. And the thing is, by the time we get to the eighth hole, because remember, it's only like 9 holes, man, it's not fun. I can't really swing the bat, because I'm just tired. The heat is just beats me down. And So I know I can't play because this is what I did. That was the first time that the heat really got me. So next time I said, I'm going to be smarter. So I took Gatorade and because the golf carts have little ice chests. So I threw 2 bottles of Gatorade. I had a bottle of water, lots of ice, and I had, of course, my little terry cloth towel. And by the time I'm in the eighth hole, I'm putting water on my head. I've got that terry cloth around me. I'm drinking the Gatorade. It's not fun because now I'm just trying to keep myself cool instead of paying attention to hitting the ball and where it's gonna go. That's no enjoyment in that. So I don't golf in the summer. And I don't remember. I do not remember the heat hitting me like that because we've been out here. We were just talking about it. We moved out here in 2007. So 2007, geez, Gigi, no, 2014. So we'll be out here 12 years. I think it's probably been the last 2 years that I really see a difference as to how the heat affects me, and because of that, I have to be more mindful about it. Now, let me share a story. Recently, Big Dog's AC went out. He hasn't gotten it fixed. Don't know why, but anyway, he hasn't taken care of it yet. My car has AC. We were going to just do a quick errand, but it was in the middle of the day. When we left, it wasn't too bad. By the time we got back, it was so hot. And I've learned now in Arizona, if I take off and I know I'm going to be out in the afternoon, we have frozen water bottles in our fridge. So I'll take a frozen one and I just keep it in the car, and because I know it'll stay cool until I get home because this thing's frozen, and it just starts to melt. We didn't have that. Oh man, by the time and we weren't even out that long. I can't remember where we were coming from. It was probably about a 30-minute, 40-minute ride from where we were at to come home. But now we're coming home like at 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock in the afternoon. So now it's like 111, 112 out there. And by the time I got home, I just had to sit under that fan and drinking the water. It's like, really? Really? It's only you're only out there 30 minutes, 45 minutes. But the heat does beat you as you get older. Your body just doesn't process it, as well as it used to. So make sure you're hydrated. Take the water with you. If you have to wear one of those little cloths, wear a hat. Whatever you need to do to protect yourself, do it because that heat in Arizona, that's not something to play with. I mean, you really have to be mindful of what you're doing and taking care of yourself because you can get hurt out here. I mean, I can't tell you how many times people are getting stuck up there in Camel Mountain because they cut Camelback Mountain because they think they can be hiking over there at even 8 o'clock in the morning, and next thing we know, the firemen are putting a helicopter up there to take them off the. Even young people, you gotta be careful with the heat because that heat, it'll take you. So be careful with that. Just saying. And what I'm gonna do, any items I kind of mentioned, I'm gonna put links below, and you guys are welcome to check them out. But I'll put them there available to you. The other thing that I recently heard about, and my mom had told me about this. Thanks, Mom. Is she had, and I can't remember if I remember that because I think she actually sent me the link. I'm gonna put the link below. Where your teeth start to get loose. What? Because Gigi's doing Smile Money on Mondays. She sent me Smile Money because she's getting a tooth fix. Don't be telling them my teeth are gonna start getting loose. So apparently, as you get older, I'm thinking it has to do with periodontal. Because I do know that you have to take care of your gums, and that's an issue I had that in fact I'm still paying on is I needed a periodontal treatment. The periodontal treatment is just your gums. You got to take care of your gums. The gums are what hold your teeth in, and if you do not take care of your gums, your teeth are gonna fall. But what happens is that your teeth start to shift. At least that's what I heard. As you get older. If this is true, please let me know because I would like to know about that because Gigi's paying a lot of money for her teeth. I'm just saying. So that really something. Why would your teeth be moving? And like I said, the only thing I can think of is because of the gum periodontal disease, and I'm thinking it can really take a hit. Your gums can take a hit if you're not taking care of them, and it's easy to get away because When I had the periodontal treatment, I think it was beginning of this year. No, the end of last year, because then I went back for a follow up, and my numbers were better. And then I went back again because now it's coming every 3 months, and I went back again just probably maybe a month ago, and man, they was so much better. Well, I'm flossing and doing everything I'm supposed to do. And he says, "All you doing with the?" Because he's coming using one of those water flosser things, which I never used before. He says, all you're doing is getting just all that bacteria. That's what's eating the gum away. It's the bacteria that we're not taking care of or getting out of there, and just brushing your teeth and not flossing regularly. And the water flosser, whatever it's called, is it's been great, and I've noticed a difference, and he's noticed a difference. So I'm really pleased about that, because Gigi don't want her teeth falling out. Because I think I got a nice smile, right? I'm just saying. And the last thing, see, I only said five because I know how Gigi can be. She can be chatty. Let's get real here, ladies. We all know about bladder leakage. You know what I'm saying? When you laugh, I mean, I'm just saying it happens. It can happen to all of us. Now, I will say I haven't had bladder leakage problems. I've had UTI problems that and that the urgency is like, I gotta go, where's the restroom? And I think part of that was stress, because stress is a killer. You have to be mindful, and you have to try to find a way to manage your stress however you can do that, because that can just beat your body. And I was having issues with UTI, and it wasn't so much infections, because eventually I got referred over. And did you know that they have a vaginologist? It's a urologist who specializes in females, but they're not called urologists. They're called like vaginologists. I don't know. I'll get the name right there. And I was like, what? That was something new to Gigi. I didn't know that. But these are things you learn as you get older, all these different types of doctors and everything. Oh yeah, fun times. So we determined, because when he did a scope of my bladder, it looked like I had measles in there. Oh, all kinds of dots. And he gave me some medication, suggested what I can do as far as changing the diet, drinking the water, don't what not to take. And one of the things he said not to take was cranberry, which was very surprising, because you usually associate cranberry as being something good for your bladder and UTIs. And he says it has a citrus in it. He goes, and when you have an inflamed bladder, sometimes the citrus isn't good. Now, everything, I'm just having a conversation. I'm not a doctor. I'm not a medical profession. I'm just sharing my stories, and we're just girls. We're just having a conversation. That's all I'm saying. So don't say, but Gigi said. No, Gigi didn't say she's a doctor. There's no MD at the end of her name. I'm just sharing my experience with you ladies out there. That's all I'm saying. So anyway, so after went through that process, and one of the things that really helped me was supplement. And he didn't tell me about it. You get on Facebook and you join all these groups to try to find out information, and it's not Flomax. That's for guys. Oh shoot, I'm gonna put the name in there again because you can't remember the name, because I haven't had to take it. I have it just in case there's an issue. I haven't had to take it because that's how well I've been doing with the UTAs. To change my diet a little bit. Well, of course, I'm not working anymore. I think that was a main, and he does too, because when I went back to get checked, my bladder was clear. I have not had an issue with that, but it's the urgency. Like you just got to go, and if you don't go, sometimes you can have leakage. And the reality is, that issue can also be another issue that can be turned into, not only do you have the leakage, when you stand up, when you cough, when you move, whatever you're doing, and then sometimes females have an issue and they end up having to have a mesh put in to kind of lift the bladder up so it's not falling down. And, I haven't had to deal with that. I've been very fortunate, but I do know that's something that's very common. But I do know that the leakage is very common as well. So, I don't know what, for me, it was the UTIs. It wasn't bladder leakage so much. But I think just talking about it, we can share information, we can find ways, Aside from, of course, talking to your doctor about whatever issues you may have, because you want to get the right information that's going to help you. But the thing is, don't be surprised if you wake up one morning and you have a good laugh, and you got a surprise. Don't be surprised. Don't be surprised. You know what I'm saying? By the surprise. Because these are things that can happen to us as we get older. Stace, don't be surprised if that happens. I'm just saying. But I think it's good just to have conversations about it, because I think sometimes, well, my mom, I mean, in her time, she didn't have conversations like this. Nobody talked to her about this kind of stuff. So when she hears information, she likes to talk to her girls and let her girls know about it. So now when I have information, hey, Stace, I let her know about it. See how that kind of trickles down? And I'm hoping that my babies, my baby girls, when they come of age, maybe somebody will share the story with them too. If not, maybe you two still around and they can see Gigi talking about it here. But whatever you ladies, just be mindful that that can happen to us. The bladder leakage, the UTIs, the loose teeth, the arthritic joints that you can't even take off your bra. You know what I'm saying? The arthritic joints and also the heat. These are all things that can happen to us. And if we do not listen to our body, then we're only hurting ourselves. One thing that I had, there was a quote, I can't remember who said it, but it's something that I found to be true. As your body knows before your head does. Listen to it. Your body knows what's going on before your brain even does. But sometimes I think we get these symptoms or we feel these certain things and we just kind of push it off. Because you know what? We're too busy. We're the ones that are taking care of business. We're the ones that got to do this. We're the ones that got to do this. We got to take care of them. We got to take care of that. You got to do this. You got to do that. Stop the nonsense. If your body's telling you something, pay attention, because your head may not even be there telling you what's going on, but your body's telling you. And these are things that sometimes can affect us when we get over 60. And I just kind of wanted to throw that out there. And if anybody's experienced any of these things, and maybe they found something that helps them, or maybe they've got their own story, by all means, don't hesitate to drop it in the comment, because I want this to be a forum that when you see, hey, Stacy, we're going to be talking about stuff that's real here. I'm just saying. But I just want to come on, and like I said, this is something I wanted to share for my daughter, and I'm sure she'll appreciate it. Right, Mia? But anyway, I think that's mainly what I want to talk about today. I hope I didn't offend anybody. But you know what? That's just life. And baby, this is Gigi Unfiltered. You know what I mean? But we're going to go ahead and whatever items that I think can help, or maybe I've used that have brought some help for me, I'm going to link them below. I will go ahead and drop those YouTube links. I'll put those, you probably already see them. If not, I'll put the links below. But like I said, the UTI, the supplement really, really helped me. And also the other one was turmeric. But you got to be careful taking this up. Ask your doctor before you take anything. I'm not a doctor. I'm just saying what I use. That's all I'm saying. But the turmeric, oh man, that was something magical for my needs. I'm just saying. And I just take one capsule a day, and it's helped so much. They're so much better. They're not 100%. They're like 80%. But man, they were like I could barely walk. That was so much pain. But anyway, I just kind of want to have a conversation like that. Just kind of share with us ladies, and anybody else who wants to join the party, the more than welcome. Come on in. But anyway, I think that's it for today. Until next time, don't forget, we're going to have Monday. And I think that's it. I'll go ahead and finish my wine. And you know what Gigi says? Gigi says, tits up, be fierce. And until next time, ciao, folks. Thanks for stopping by. See ya. Tits up.